Hey guys, this is TehFatPanda back with another video gym challenge. I haven't recorded anything in a little while, so I've got a decent amount of battles to do. Anyway, this is a battle versus a recently new challenger actually to the league by the name of killernerd420. Looking at his team, it's full of a bunch of guys I haven't actually seen in quite a while. The Ambipom, Lantern, Lapras. It's got quite a few water types on his team, but if used well, he could pose a bit of a problem to me, although I only see one priority user, which is the Ambipom with, I assume, Fake Out. So hopefully he won't lead with his Ambipom, because I do plan on leading with Smeargle, as I almost always do. Anyway, let's hop into the battle. And he does lead with the Ambipom, which is a little bit of a problem. I'm hoping it doesn't have Fake Out, but it really should. So I will just go with the I will attempt to go with Shell Smash, but he does Fake Out, and it kind of wrecks Smeargle. So I know he's not probably going to do much this battle. I'll just retreat him, hopefully find a way to set up with him later. And I bring out Mew, who is physically defensive. He goes for the low sweep. It's not going to do anything to Mew, although it does lower his speed, which is kind of depressing. And I'll just counter with a Rock Polish, but he does U-turn. He'll take about a third of my health away. Nothing to really fret about. And he goes and takes out his Ambipom. And I believe he brings out, he brings out his Lapras. And I just set up this turn with Rock Polish. Try to raise that speed back up. Granted, now it's only, a +1 because of the low sweep, but it's still fast enough to outspeed most of his team. Just keep boosting, set up a nasty plot. Hopefully, the Leviathan doesn't have much. Toxics me, which actually ends up screwing him more than me, because I have Synchronize and a Lumberry on my Mew, so it'll pass the Toxic right back to Leviathan and cure me at the same time, which is pretty crippling for the really the only wall he has on his team. I go for an Aura Sphere off my nasty plot, see if it does that much damage. I'm hoping it does at least half, but especially defensive, even with a weakness, but it does do a fair amount of damage. He comes back with a Confuse Ray, which I wasn't expecting at all. Confusion is probably the status I hate the most in this game, because no matter what it says at 50%, it almost always feels like 100%. Toxic keeps clicking away at the Leviathan. I tried a Baton Pass here, but I hit myself. Fortunately, I'm not going to do I'm not going to do anything to myself. He goes for the Ice Beam. It'll hurt. If I confuse and hit myself again next turn, I will probably lose this Mew. So I'm just desperately at this point trying to Baton Pass to a teammate who can tank these Ice Beams. Go for the Baton Pass again. It does go through this time. And so I immediately switch straight over to my Espeon, who is specially defensive. Max HP, max special defense. Is going to tank these Ice Beams like a champ and hit back with stored power. Unfortunately, he freezes me. 10% chance. Not my day with status. So now I just have to sit here, hope that he doesn't switch out, or switch out to something that can take out this Espeon or set up on it. I'm hoping he just keeps going, picking away at me. But he does withdraw. I'm worried he's going to send out his Dragonite, but he does send out his Gengar, which could be irritating, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm still frozen solid though, which is really irritating. He could hit back, hit hard, but I hope not. Fortunately, I not only thaw, but I also snap out of my confusion, go for a stored power, which off the +3 is going to be a base 80 attack, so it'll take out the frail Gengar. I was worried it might have Focus Sash, but it didn't. It was probably a choice or leftover or something weird like that. So, feeling lucky right now. Haven't lost anything. Finally took out that Gengar. He goes back, brings out the Ambipom, was going to Fake Out again. I really hate Fake Out users. They can wreck things. It's just that one simple attack. But it doesn't do all that much damage, and I will outspeed because of that previous rock polish. And stored power should take out this Ambipom, which it does. So at this point, I'm actually pretty confident that this Espeon is going to wreck his team, thanks to the boosts it got from the Mew. He brings out Gyarados, which I wasn't sure really what kind of Gyarados he'd be running. If it was a Rest Talk, this could be kind of painful, because the best move I have to hurt it is my Hidden Power, which is Rock. It does quite a bit of damage, and he goes for the Dragon's Dance, actually, which means I'm going to get a certain 2-hit KO, because even after Dragon's Dance, he's not going to be able to outspeed my Espeon due to the +1 that it has to speed. So I'm just going to finish it off with Hidden Power Rock and count myself lucky that it was a Dragon Dance. So he comes and he sends out his Lantern, which I don't really understand the reasoning behind. I just, for some reason, decide... Oh, nope, that was Stored Power. I thought that was Hidden Rock. I have Hidden Power for some reason. But even my base 80 power won't actually take out his Lantern. He fires back with a Signal Beam, actually, which I wasn't expecting. I was thinking he'd hit me with a Surf or maybe a Volt Switch. But he does go for the Signal Beam, which thankfully my Espeon is specially offensive, so it wouldn't really do all that much to me. And I finish it off with Stored Power. And at this point I'm pretty set. I know all he's got left right now is this Dragonite, which could be tricky, and a probably like 10 HP Lapras that's already poisoned, so you know that's really a non-contestant. So I just go for the Rock here just to break break his multi-scale. I don't think it'll do all that much. And he does actually go for a Dragon's Dance, which I kind of expected. I was hoping it would be some sort of weird Stall Knight, but it wasn't. It is a Dragon Dance, so probably hit me with an Outrage next turn, since he does actually outspeed me after that Dragon's Dance. But he goes for a Roost to try to heal back that damage. I'm not really sure why he did, considering I will do that exact same damage again now. But I don't really know. I thought he would just hit me with an Outrage. After that, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Oh, but it does do less damage because he loses his Flying type. That actually makes sense, and I didn't notice it the first time. But he does go with an Outrage, which is going to knock out this Espeon, finally. And so now I've got to figure out a way to tank the rest of his Outrages, so I just send out my Smargle, who isn't going to do anything in this battle. So he'll tank and he'll go for the Extreme Speed, which is going to do absolutely nothing. It's just there to prevent Taunt. And he finishes Smargle off with an Outrage, which is what I expected. Crits even, which was totally unnecessary. Finally, the Outrage is over, and I'm thinking, thank God, I've got this. But it's got a Lumberry. So now he's +1/+1 and perfectly healthy. So I send in my Mew. I'm hoping that the Outrage doesn't finish him, but he actually goes for a Fire Punch, which I really didn't understand. He must have been getting cocky because I survive, and that Fire Punch is what actually allowed me to win this battle, I think. So I get off a Rock Polish, and then I immediately pass straight to my Latios. I was worried that he was going to Dragon Dance, but I was thinking probably just Fire Punch again. But he actually goes for a Dragon Dance. Now he's +2/+2. Unfortunately, that's not fast enough to outspeed this Latios. Go for a Dragon Pulse, and it doesn't get weakened by multi-scale because he's already hurt. Dragonite falls, and this battle is mine. He sends out his Leviathan, but it's poisoned and has absolutely no health. So this will be a quick end to the battle. And down it goes, and I have won the battle versus killernerd420. It was a good try. Hopefully he's got some priority in the other two Pokemon that he's allowed to use. Or next time, as long as he doesn't get too cocky, he should be able to take me out. At least with that Dragonite, if I don't see it coming. Anyway, good try, and shout out to the subreddit of Pokemon League DS. It's where we host our league. 17 gym leaders, one for each type. Feel free to stop in, sign up, challenge us, maybe become the champion. Anyway, this is the Fat Panda signing.